Shantanu Chaudhary, thank you very much for getting associated with this great partnership with National Institute of Disaster Management and IIT Jodhpur, which you are representing as a director. And your work has been so amazing that even the Mehrangarh Trust patron, Maharaja Agar Singh Ji, recommended when we have written to them about bringing or roping in IIT Jodhpur. So would like to hear from your mouth the work that you're doing for preservation of cultural heritage and how the digitization and those kind of, how you're leveraging technology for modeling or for capturing the essence of our physical assets or the tangible cultural heritage. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, I think it's a pleasure for IIT Jodhpur, and it's a privilege also for IIT Jodhpur to be part of this workshop and working with National Institute of Disaster Management on preservation of heritage and heritage, both tangible as well as intangible. In fact, what we are working in is heritage in digital space, which is actually a unique thing in terms of where we are looking at heritage and preserving the data and information about the heritage. Because the physical heritage is prone to destruction, variety of reasons, and prone to damage. Now, even if it's damaged, if you have to restore, I need to know what it was originally. So that's why digital data is something very, very important for preservation of heritage. And if by chance, if it is completely destroyed, then I have that copy in digital domain. And I can do an absolutely faithful reproduction of that, even in terms of exact measurements. So that's what we are working on, trying to get the digital data of physical artifacts, starting from structures, temples, to say crafts and other sculptures. So all of these we are actually trying to get into digital space. We have done a work with, very recently, a work with Kiradu Temple, which is in a place near Barmer and which is of Solanki dynasty, and almost 10th century temple, almost a forgotten temple. And we have got the complete data, 3D data, so that even if it gets destroyed by natural aging, but still we shall have the beautiful carvings of the temple preserved. And that's exactly our intent. We are working also with intangible heritage. In fact, we have done collections that we are developing technologies by which, say, these art forms like music and dance also to be preserved. And also the very, very important thing is that we have also worked with Rajasthan government for digitizing the artifacts which are in 5 museums of Rajasthan government. So therefore, I think the whole agenda which you talked about today in terms of NIDM's initiative to preserve heritage, both in tangible, intangible, as well as this museum and archives, in all of these spaces, we are trying to develop technology to enable this digital preservation.
Thank you, Professor Shantanu, for thinking that, leveraging technology for this very, very important area of cultural preservation, and particularly this will serve a great purpose when we are talking about the increasing intensity and frequency of disaster in the view of climate change. My next question is that technology and digitization has its own challenges. The challenges in terms of the pace of change of technology, and we have seen that many times the new platform comes, the old platform, in the commercial platform I'm talking, they are not compatible with the next one. So how to, number one, how to cross this barrier of compatibility of the digital platform and technologies, they're changing pace. And number two is many times these digital platforms also bring in the challenges of access by various stakeholders they want to access. So how the open access can be ensured? Your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So let me just tell you, one thing is that what changes is the technology for acquisition and technology for presentation. But data can be preserved in a core format. If you see that digital data is 0 and 1s, and if we try to preserve it at the core format of the data, then we can actually overcome the challenges of ever-changing technology. Second thing is that once it is in digital form today, there are various ways of ensuring the origin of the data. In fact, we are working with another project with EPFL Switzerland, where we are actually creating a digital twin of Buddhist statues and putting the data in a blockchain network so that they can be protected in terms of attacks or improper usage, as well as it can be attributed to the origin of it. So therefore, the preservation of data, security of the data when we're going for a heritage, and preservation of our heritage is extremely important. So that's why we're working on that blockchain, and with the blockchain framework. And so therefore it's a new technology which has come in, which are using in the heritage to protect the heritage. Okay, so therefore our approach has been to develop technology which becomes more agnostic to changes, so that continuity of the data and the heritage can be preserved even through technology.
That's a very important message, Professor Shantanu, which we need to take to our stakeholders, because many a time this knowledge about agnosticity of the technological platform is not with our middle level management, with our museums, with our archives who are trying to do digitization in whole passion. This thing, they should not go a wrong way. So how, and we require many Professor Shantanu in this country, because we have reached 5 museums and there are more than 1,000 museums, there are many private collections. How you see this partnership between National Institute of Disaster Management and IIT Jodhpur and the like-minded institution, that how we can